India's performance in the group stages is now history. We had by far the best run-up to the quarterfinals, but none of that matters at the Melbourne Cricket Ground tomorrow when Dhoni's boys step out to take on Bangladesh. We hammered them in 2011, but we got defeated in 2007. It almost seems as if on the Melbourne cricket pitch there is a banana peel and everyone's wondering whether we'll slip on that peel or jump over it.
The verdict in the second quarter-final seems to be overwhelming in Team India's favour. On paper or on the field, going by performance in the tournament or judging by the records, Bangladesh just does not seem to have the firepower to match Team India.
I'll go 80-20 in a I mean, it's a two-horse race. You know, I know India are good, but on their day, the other thing, MCG, there'll be a great atmosphere, and there'll be one of the. I mean, I'm doing that game. It'll be one of the great days of this tournament.
The World Cup Down Under has capitulated the Indian team sky high.
Oh, what a shot.
The team is high on performance, high on winning, and now have to realise the high of picking the cup once again. Clearly, the past does not matter now. What will matter is what happens in Melbourne. India have been on a winning streak but will be aware that the Tigers from Bangladesh have a happy knack of upsetting the favourites' apple cart. They beat India in the 2007 World Cup. Then they beat England recently to knock the Lions out of the tournament. They even came close to upsetting New Zealand.
Each match, you got to think about how you want to play the game and not worry too much about the opposition. So far, our standard of playing, it has been fantastic to watch, and we should stick to that and not worry too much about the opposition.
However, India have all bases covered. Every batsman in the team has had a decent knock in the middle. All the bowlers have hit a purple patch and the team is fielding like tigers. So what's the worry about? Nothing much for Team India. Just one thing, the law of averages is not on India's side. With Shivani Gupta in Melbourne, Sports Bureau headlines today.
So what's the mood this evening in the two camps? Here are Suresh Raina, who addressed a press conference of the Indian team, and Bangladeshi captain Mashrafe Murtaza, who will be a key player for the Tigers tomorrow, talking about how they're shaping up for this big Bangladesh clash.
When you're playing quarterfinal, it's very important. All the matches gonna be in pressure situation. We need to just go there and play into what we have in the dressing room. We can't just think what they have. We have played a lot of matches against them. We just need to play positive cricket. Need to do proper process in bowling, batting, and fielding. And I think whoever do well in knockout stages definitely is the team going to win the World Cup. So I think it's gonna start. Main World Cup gonna start tomorrow for us.
Our focus is to playing all-out good cricket. I mean, we're the team, we can't change one or two players, can't change the whole game. So we're the team, as a fielding, as a batting group, as a bowling group, as even once we fielded, once we all doing good in together, we do well. So we are focusing on everywhere, basically, not just on particular area.
It's India's tricky quarter-final clash. Will we be able to avoid the banana peel that's laid out on the pitch of Melbourne? Joining us now, Andrew Simons, Harbhajan Singh. Andrew's having a chuckle. It is a banana peel for the Indian team. And Habibul Bashar is joining us from Dhaka, former captain of the Bangladesh team. And we brought him on the newsroom because it's under his captaincy that India got knocked out at the port of Spain in 2007. Very terrible memories for all of us, Habibul, and we're hoping that doesn't happen at all. But Bhaji, you've looked at this team. Can Indian fans sleep peacefully tonight, or would they sleep very worried? Because losing to Australia, there's honor in losing to Australia. You can go down to Australia. Is there a possibility we could end up losing and slipping on that banana peel?
No, I don't think we're going to slip on those banana peels. We're going to have a very smooth ride. Going into the semi-final. I think India is playing really well, and I'm sure they will continue to do what they've been doing, and of course it's going to be one of those games which will be an easy game for India.
You're
This is
saying
what
it's
I
an
feel.
easy game, but we thought Port of Spain 2007 would be easy too. Baji, you were there in the team.
Yes, I was there, but
So tell me what happened.
what happened. Actually, we lost a lot of wickets, and wicket had a lot of moisture in the morning.
And that slow left arm spinners.
Yes, and by I think first 15 overs we were 3-4 down, and we were more of recovering the whole game rather than playing the game. So it was a good toss for them to win, and they won the toss and put us in, and they made the most of it.
Okay, Andrew, any chance of India slipping on that banana peel?
Now, I'll tell you this, and we all know that they've played and beaten England, and they've played and beaten.
Against Australia, there was a washout. So that's how they got
it was
an
a
extra
washout,
point.
and they played really well against New Zealand.
And they played and pushed New Zealand, yes. So the banana peel is there, but India need to step over it or around it or go through it. So they're an enthusiastic side. They've got some good cricketers. It's not going to be a walk in the park. India are going to have to play good cricket to beat them.
We saw spinners play a very important role in today's match with South Africa, and despite the fact that there was Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka you'd assume would be far more comfortable playing spin, but Imran Tahir had them wrapped around. Is that going to be a problem? Slow bowlers were our problem at Port of Spain. Is that an area of concern, Baji?
Well, Port of Spain was a different story altogether. That wicket was slightly wet, to start with, and it was a good toss for Bangladesh to win and put us in, and they got most of whatever they needed, from that toss. And in this game, I don't know if spin will be the key, because Melbourne is a wicket where it helps the seamer in the evening especially, and it has a lot of bounce. So,
and we saw with Rubel, he was bowling at 146, 147, and his Yorkers were spot on. So it's not as if you're up against a weak bowling side. They're fairly good.
That's right. They've got some pace, and pace counts. It can take your wickets, especially if you bowl the ball in the right area.
Yeah.
As Budgie said, with that bit of bounce in that Melbourne wicket, brings your slips keeper into play. And we talked about MCG, the wicket in the field it's wide. It's not so long. It's only 60 metres down to the members' end, but hitting the ball square of the wicket, you've got to hit it 80 plus metres to hit it over the fence. So it's an attacking area that their quicks will bowl quite a few short balls against the Indian top order, I would think, and set the field accordingly. But then when they pitch up, they want to be full enough to bring the slips and the keeper into play.
Okay, I want to go across live to Dhaka. Joining us from there is Habibul Bashar, captain of the 2007. He's got that grain, He's done it once in 2007. We're very scared that Bangladesh shouldn't end up doing it again. But looking at it from where you are, Habibul, what's your sense of Bangladesh being able to repeat what happened in 2007?
Look, we knew it's a difficult job. We knew it's a very tough job, because India is playing real good cricket in this World Cup. We always talk about India's batting, but I think they did tremendously well in bowling also. Their fielding is different now. India is a different fielding side, and they are already they're unbeaten in this World Cup. They're the only side who bowled everyone out. So we all knew it's a difficult job, but this is an opportunity for Bangladesh. We never been in quarterfinals in World Cup. We are just one match away from semi-final, 2 matches away from final. So there's a lot to get from these matches. Our what we are thinking is, it's an opportunity for us. If we get a chance, let's take it. We knew it's not going to be easy. We knew it's going to be very difficult. But if we do our best, if the day is ours, then anything can happen. So
Anything can happen. It's a game of glorious uncertainties, and that's a phrase I hope doesn't come into play tomorrow. But how do you rate this team with the team that won in the West Indies in 2007? Some would say that the Bangladeshi team has been a tad bit lucky with the fact that the match against Australia got washed out, thereby enabling Bangladesh to come in probably as the weakest team of the lot in the quarterfinals. Is that a fair assessment? Do you believe that this team deserves to be where it is?
I will not agree. I really not agree with that stuff. I think Bangladesh played good cricket in this World Cup. That is why they are in quarterfinals. Look, we didn't get a chance to play in Australia because they rained out. But I think if we can get a chance to play that match, that will help Bangladesh team also, because it's a difficult different condition in Australia. To get adapted with this condition, you need to play more matches. In group stage, if you play more matches, you will get more adapted. If you could play against Australia in that game, it would have been help us to play a lot better cricket in the next game. We had one bad game in Sri Lanka. Rather than I think we played very well. In the England team, we had a good game against England. Yes, the first game is Afghanistan. We played well. Scotland scored 300 plus, but we didn't panic. I think we played enough good cricket to be in quarterfinals. I will not agree if someone said that Bangladesh is lucky to be in final. I think Bangladesh is capable of to be in quarterfinal because they played good cricket in this World Cup.
Okay, Baji, looked at from an India perspective, Ravindra Jadeja and at the top Rohit Sharma, would those be your two areas of concern in this team?
Rohit, I'm not too worried about. Rohit is a class player.
He only scores against weaker opponents. Where has he scored
really.
against
He
one of the
scored,
tougher teams?
He scored double hundred, against Australia, and he scored double hundred against Sri Lanka. Those are not weaker teams, and of course he's not.
No, but he needs to do it on
form.
a big bouncy track.
Yeah, but he's not in probably best of his form. But one match can, change the whole thing. And Rohit is a class player, and I'm hopeful that tomorrow he'll come good. And
does this joke go around in the dressing room because he's called the most talented player of all? Now maybe people would say that Virat's been more consistent, but he's always been rated as the most talented player of his generation. Yet somehow he never fulfills that talent at the highest stage.
No, Rahul, I think he did score a lot of runs for India when they were playing in home series, and he's been a bit unlucky. He got injured and missed few games in England in the Champions Trophy. And I feel he's a brilliant talent and who have done really well for India. Yes, of course, he didn't score as many runs as we would have liked him to see in the World Cup, but he's a class act.
No, Sachin Tendulkar once told us that Rohit Sharma is the one player who reminds him most of himself and also is possibly the most talented on the block. But an Indian fan feels far more rest assured seeing a Virat Kohli bat, maybe even an Ajinkya Rahane or a Shikhar Dhawan. Why does a Rohit Sharma, despite what Baji and everybody else in the dressing room feel of him, never live up to that potential?
I think the Indian players are always under a lot of pressure to perform.
Everyone is.
Yeah.
All of them.
But what you've got to remember is there's still 3 games left for India in this World Cup if they play well. And if India are to do well, Rohit Sharma will feature heavily in one, maybe 2 of those games. So I'm a Rohit fan.
Why?
So don't panic about Rohit.
Do you think he doesn't do justice to his potential?
Oh, look, anyone who's scored 2 double hundreds in one-day cricket is a
But neither of those on big, pacey, bouncy tracks.
Well, but the other guys were also playing on the same track. Why didn't the others score runs on those wickets?
Okay.
Rohit Sharma scored runs.
Yeah, you can only hit what's bowled at you, and to score 2 doubles is amazing. Yeah. So I'm telling you, don't worry about Rohit. I think he'll be fine. He'll contribute.
And Sir Ravindra Jadeja?
Jadeja, well,
would you keep him in the team or would you drop him?
If they were going to drop him, they had to drop him a game or 2 matches ago to give the new player a chance to get into the tournament. But what people probably don't know and will remember, batting at 7 is a tricky place to bat. You're on a hiding to nothing most of the time you go out. You either come in and there's 2 overs to go and you've got to have a slog and you end up throwing your wicket away, or you come in when the team's in trouble and you've got to automatically be scoring at 6, 8, 10 plus runs and over. So it's never an easy place to bat. So people need to bear these things in mind when they're analysing players. So.
Habibul Bashar, if you were captaining the Bangladeshi side, what would your strategy be? You're up against the favourites, India. If you were captaining the Bangladeshi team tomorrow, what would you do to try and repeat the heroics of Port of Spain?
To play the very best of their cricket. Definitely, as I mentioned earlier, it's not going to be easy for us. But if I as the captain, I would have been tell them, just do your best. Look, it's easy to say. I know it's not easy. It's not going to be easy to be done. But we need to do one thing, that to play our best cricket. That's the only thing we can do. do not think too much about the opposition. Yes, you need to know about the opposition, but it's not nice to think too much about your opposition. The opposition might be better than you, but on a given day in a 50 hours match, if you play the best cricket, if the day belongs to you, anything could happen. So don't worry too much about the India team. Don't worry too much about their batsmen. Not too much about their bowlers. Yeah, you need to have a clear idea about their strength and weakness, but don't think too much about opponent. Just try to do your best. That's what I would tell the boys.
I was reading Baji.
The captain in this.
I was reading Baji. Some of the commentary in the Bangladeshi press. They're calling this the biggest day in Bangladeshi sport. For them, this is like 1983. If they can beat India tomorrow, all of Bangladesh would go absolutely crazy.
Well, obviously, I agree with what the captain just said. This is an opportunity. They should look at is like an opportunity, not like, take it as a burden, why we are playing India. This is a great opportunity.
Does it make their life easier because they're playing India and their neighbors, or does it make it tougher? If Bangladesh were playing a New Zealand or a South Africa, would they be under lesser pressure? Because with India and Bangladesh, because they're close neighbors, there's also that bit of nervous energy that comes in.
Oh, I think you've got your favourite people who you like to beat. I think that's the way it's set up. Bangladesh should really like to beat India tomorrow.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Who they'd like to beat?
Purely for that reason. But they're the underdog, so the pressure isn't on them, in my opinion. It's on India. India are expected to win tomorrow. Yeah. Bangladesh
Does that make life easier for Bangladesh or tougher that they're playing India?
Well, obviously it'll make... It's not easier. I mean, they must be thinking that what they need to do. But if I was a Bangladeshi captain, I would actually not think about this as a quarter-final. This is just like another game. Go out and play.
Let's take a look at the figures, because in the World Cup, when India have squared off against Bangladesh, it's one apiece. We've beaten them. We scored 370 runs. We got even in 2011. That was a great match, wasn't it, Baji?
Yes, of course. We wanted to start off with a great win, and that's exactly what we did in Bangladesh in 2011. Viru got 100, and Virat Kohli got brilliant 100, and we were right on the money.
But the overall record is heavily skewed in India's favour.
Yes.
Significantly skewed in India's favour. And touch wood. I mean, there's a lot of wood here. There's some wood on Simons' bat as well. The fans are touching all the. You can hold the bat with some Baji bats. You can hold all the bats and cling on to all the wood and hope that the banana peel laid out on the pitch of Melbourne, we're able to skirt over or jump over. It's been great having the both of you on our show. Habibul Bashar, thank you very much, sir. 2007 was a great match. It's way behind us in the past, and I hope that's where it stays. The one Bangladeshi win over India in the World Cup. Let's hope that doesn't become two. Thank you very much, Baji. Great having the both of you on the show. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Thank you.